If you're polishing your car in direct sunlight using circular motions or applying compound to dry paint, you are literally grinding microscopic scratches into your clear coat that will eventually require a complete repaint costing thousands of dollars. Every single day, car owners destroy their paint thinking they're making it look better, and the detailing industry has documented the exact mistakes that cause permanent damage. Your car's paint has a clear coat layer that's only 2 to 4 mils thick, which is thinner than a piece of paper, and improper polishing removes this protective layer permanently. According to professional detailers and paint specialists, over 60% of paint damage they see is self-inflicted by owners who use the wrong products, wrong techniques, or polished in the wrong conditions. The paint correction to fix these mistakes costs $500 to $1,500, while learning the correct method costs nothing. The myths about car polishing have been repeated so many times that most people believe them, but paint science and professional testing have proven exactly what works and what destroys paint. Keep watching, because I'm going to show you the specific mistakes that are killing your paint, the science behind why they cause damage, and the correct method that professional detailers use to safely enhance your car's finish. Hey, if you like this kind of straight-to-the-point content with no BS, help me out here. Subscribe to the channel right now. It takes 2 seconds and guarantees you won't miss any tips that could save you some serious cash. Let me start by explaining what car paint actually is and why improper polishing destroys it permanently. Modern automotive paint consists of several layers. The bottom layer is the bare metal or composite body panel. On top of that is primer, which provides adhesion and corrosion protection. Above the primer is the base coat, which is the actual color of your car. Finally, the top layer is clear coat, a transparent protective layer made of polyurethane or similar material. This clear coat is what gives your paint its glossy shine and protects the color layer from UV rays, chemicals, and minor abrasion. Here's the critical fact. The clear coat is incredibly thin, typically measuring only 2 to 4 mils thick. A mil is 1/1000th of an inch. For reference, a standard piece of printer paper is about 4 mils thick. Your clear coat is thinner than a single sheet of paper. Every time you polish your car, you are removing a microscopic layer of this clear coat. Professional paint correction removes approximately 0.1 to 0.3 mils per polishing session, depending on the aggressiveness of the compound and pad. You can only safely remove about 1 to 1.5 mils of clear coat over the entire lifetime of the paint before you burn through to the base coat, which requires a complete repaint. If you polish incorrectly, you can remove significantly more material, cause uneven thickness, create holograms and swirl marks, or even burn through to the base coat in one session. Once clear coat is removed, it cannot be replaced without a complete repaint. The paint system cannot regenerate or heal itself. Every mistake is permanent. Now let me explain the specific mistakes that cause damage. Mistake number 1 is polishing in direct sunlight or on a hot surface. When paint is hot from sun exposure, it becomes softer and more pliable. Polishing compound creates friction, which generates additional heat. Hot paint plus friction heat causes the compound to dry too quickly and the pad to grab the paint surface unevenly. This creates buffer trails, holograms, and accelerated clear coat removal. Professional detailers never polish in direct sunlight. They work in shade or indoors with the paint surface at ambient temperature, ideally between 60 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Polishing hot paint is one of the fastest ways to damage your finish. Mistake number 2 is using circular motions with a rotary buffer or by hand. Circular polishing motions create circular scratch patterns called swirl marks. These are visible as spiderweb patterns in the paint when viewed under direct light. The reason is that circular motion doesn't overlap evenly and creates concentrated pressure points that dig into the clear coat. Professional detailers use overlapping straight line passes with dual action polishers that oscillate rather than rotate in circles. This distributes pressure evenly and minimizes visible scratching. If you must polish by hand, use straight overlapping passes, never circles. Mistake number 3 is applying compound or polish to dry paint. Polishing products need proper lubrication to work correctly. When applied to dry paint, the abrasives in the compound create excessive friction without the lubrication needed to suspend removed paint particles. This causes scratching rather than smooth leveling. Always ensure the paint surface is properly prepared and the compound is adequately applied before buffing. The product should remain wet during the polishing process. If it dries out, stop immediately, remove the dried product, and reapply fresh compound. Mistake number 4 is using too aggressive a compound for the condition of the paint. Polishing compounds come in various levels of abrasiveness, typically categorized as cutting compound, polish, and finishing polish. Cutting compounds are highly abrasive and remove significant clear coat. They're designed for heavy oxidation, deep scratches, or paint correction work. Using cutting compound on paint that only needs light polishing removes far more clear coat than necessary. Most cars need only a fine polish or finishing polish, not aggressive cutting compound. Using the wrong product accelerates clear coat removal unnecessarily. Mistake number 5 is applying excessive pressure. Many people think pressing harder will produce better results. The opposite is true. Excessive pressure causes the pad to stop rotating properly, creates heat buildup, and concentrates abrasive action in one spot. This leads to burn through, especially on edges, body lines, and curved surfaces where the clear coat is thinnest. Professional detailers use light to moderate pressure and let the machine and compound do the work. The pad should glide smoothly across the surface without resistance. Mistake number 6 is not using a paint thickness gauge before polishing. Professional detailers measure clear coat thickness with a paint thickness gauge before any correction work. This tells them how much clear coat is available and where thin spots exist. Without measuring, you're polishing blind. You might have adequate clear coat in most areas, but burn through on edges or previously repaired panels that have thinner paint. Paint thickness gauges cost $50 to $200 and are essential for safe polishing. Mistake number 7 is using contaminated pads or applicators. If your polishing pad picks up dirt, debris, or dried compound, those particles become embedded in the pad and act like sandpaper. Each pass across the paint drags these contaminants, creating deep scratches. Pads must be cleaned frequently during polishing, using a pad cleaning brush or compressed air. Contaminated pads should be replaced immediately. Now let me explain the correct method for safely polishing your car. Step 1. Thoroughly wash and decontaminate the paint. Use 2-bucket wash method with proper car wash soap. After washing, use a clay bar or decontamination mitt to remove embedded contaminants like tar, tree sap, and industrial fallout. Rinse and dry completely. Step 2. Work in shade or indoors. Never polish in direct sunlight or on hot paint. Surface should be cool to touch. Step 3. Tape off plastic trim, rubber seals, in areas you don't want compound on. Polish can stain plastic trim white. Step 4. If serious about paint care, measure clear coat thickness with a paint thickness gauge. Factory paint is typically 4 to 6 miles total thickness. If readings are below 4 mils, the paint has been polished before or was repaired with thin paint. Be extremely careful in these areas. Step 5. Choose the least aggressive product for your goal. For light swirl removal and gloss enhancement, use fine or finishing polish. For moderate oxidation, use medium polish. Reserve cutting compounds only for severe oxidation or deep defects. When in doubt, start less aggressive and test. Step 6. Use the right equipment. Dual action polishers are much safer than rotary buffers for beginners. Dual action machines oscillate randomly rather than spinning in circles, making them nearly impossible to burn through with. Rotary buffers in inexperienced hands are dangerous. If polishing by hand, use proper foam applicator pads. Step 7. Work in small sections, approximately 2 feet by 2 feet. Apply several small dots of compound to pad. Spread on paint, then polish with overlapping straight passes at moderate speed. Light pressure, keep pad flat. Work compound until it turns clear, then wipe off residue with clean microfiber towel. Inspect work. Step 8. Remove all compound residue completely. Polish residue left on paint can dry and bond, causing hazing. Use multiple clean microfiber towels. Step 9. Protect the paint after polishing. Polishing removes existing wax or sealant. Bare clear coat is vulnerable to UV damage. Apply quality wax, sealant, or ceramic coating. Step 10. Limit how often you polish. Polishing should not be regular maintenance. Most cars only need polishing every 2 to 3 years, or when paint develops visible defects. Over-polishing removes clear coat unnecessarily. Regular washing and waxing maintain gloss without removing clear coat. Professional detailers recommend these products. Meguiar's Ultimate Compound or M205 Ultra Finishing Polish. Chemical Guys, VSS Scratch and Swirl Remover. For dual action polishers, Griot's Garage G9 or Porter Cable 7424XP. For pads, Lake Country or Meguiar's foam pads in finishing or polishing grades. For paint thickness gauges, Positest DFT or Elcometer gauges. So here's the bottom line. Most car owners damage paint by polishing in sunlight, using circular motions, applying too much pressure, using contaminated pads, or choosing overly aggressive compounds. Clear coat is thinner than paper, and every polishing session removes material permanently. The correct method involves working in shade on cool paint, using the least aggressive product necessary, employing proper technique with light pressure and straight passes, and protecting paint afterward. Follow these guidelines and you'll enhance paint safely. Ignore them and you'll eventually burn through clear coat, requiring a multi-$1,000 repaint.